So in Game Week 24, there are 4 teams that have 2 fixtures, so the players that play in those teams have 2 chances to accumulate as many points as possible for your team if you bring those players in, which I'll run through in a minute. So Man City have Spurs at home and Everton away. Not the easiest fixtures on paper, but Man City, best side in the league at the moment, sadly, so you might want to bring some of their assets. Everton, Fulham at home, Manchester City at home. The latter harder on paper, but Fulham are a good side on their day, and Everton not a bad side either, so you might want to bring some of their players. And then you got Burnley. So Burnley don't concede too many goals, so maybe you want to bring their goalkeeper or defender, any of their defenders. And Palace and Fulham don't score too many goals. You see, good combination there. And then you've got Fulham. So Fulham, good side on their day, not the most consistent team, and Everton away and Burnley away are quite tricky fixtures, but you never know, because it's the Premier League and anything can happen. But anyway, let's run through good picks for the upcoming game week, which is Game Week 24, and a lot of them will be players who have 2 games, because you get more of a chance for them to accumulate points. So first on the list, out of the many Man City assets that we'll run through, is Cancelo. So he's priced at 6 million, which is very reasonable in my opinion, and he's worth every penny. He's owned by 21.3% of the game, and Manchester City have managed 8 clean sheets in their last 10 games, which is nuts. So you'll be getting a lot of clean sheet points if they keep going the way they are. And you can get a few attacking returns here and there, as we've seen in recent weeks, as he likes to get forward now and then. And the next Man City asset is Man City's wonder kid Phil Foden. So he was very impressive against Liverpool, very impressive display. Got a goal and 2 assists, took all 3 bonus points. He's 6.1 million, so he's cheap. He's a budget enabler in your midfield. He's only owned by 7.9% in the game. And I think after that performance against Liverpool, which sadly he did really well in, he's pretty much almost guaranteed to start the next 2. I know Pep likes to rotate even though players have good games, but when that guy's in form, he's a special player. And next on the list is another Man City asset, Ilkay Gundogan. 5.9 million, cheapest chips for what he brings you. 5 goals and an assist in his last 5 games, and he just came off the back of scoring 2 goals against Liverpool. Sadly, I'm going to say sadly because of course I support Liverpool, and also he missed a penalty that game as well, so he still managed to bag himself 2 goals. He's owned by 23.7% of the game, reasonably high, but for what he brings you, he's an exceptional player. And the next Man City option is Ruben Diaz. So he's owned by 22.4% of the game, quite a few, but he's 6.1 million, and with Manchester City even 8 clean sheets in their last 10 games, which is ridiculous. And I know he gave a penalty away against Liverpool, but I still think he'll start the next game. Pep's not going to doubt him because he's been their best defender this season and transformed their defence, so Diaz could be a good option to bring into your team. Move on to some good assets from Burnley. So Ben Mee, 5 million, captain of Burnley, so when he's fit, he starts every game. 3.4%, that's how much he's owned by. And Burnley haven't kept too many clean sheets recently, but still 7 this whole season, and the 2 teams they're playing, Crystal Palace and Fulham, don't score too many goals, so could be a good combination right there. And Ben Mee could be a threat from corners as well, so I don't know when was the last time he scored a goal from a corner, but big centre backs, always threat from corners. And now we move on to his Burnley teammate, super differential guy, Dwight McNeil. Yeah, super differential guy. That's a good phrase right there. Anyway, he's owned by 0.4% of the game, costs 5.7 million. His last attacking return, or his last return really, was against Aston Villa in Game Week 20, when he managed to get himself a goal and assist, but he did take all 3 bonus points, so that's quite good. I'm just thinking, whenever I watch this guy play, he's not afraid to take on the guy in front of him. He's direct with his play, and I know there are 2 tough fixtures for Burnley coming up, although Fulham aren't the best defensively. Everton a decent outfit, and Burnley didn't score too many goals. You're thinking, why are you recommending me Dwight McNeil? But this guy, he's a good player, and if he manages to get past a couple of Everton defenders or Fulham defenders and stick the ball in the back of the net, or creates a chance or whatever, because there's 2 fixtures, it could pay off for you. Super differential guy, Dwight McNeil. Now we'll move on to some good Everton assets. So you've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He's probably the most well-known Everton player. 7.6 million. And he's owned by 42.1% of the game. He was owned by a ridiculous amount at the start of the season, sort of tailed off because his form dipped, and now he's back up there again. And he's been in good form recently as well. In his last 2 games, he scored 2 goals and got an assist, and he's Everton's main striker and pretty much will play every minute of the game, because they brought Josh King in, but he's not quite the same level as Calvert-Lewin, and with 2 fixtures and this price tag, he could pay off. And we move on to Dominic Calvert-Lewin's teammate and most likely friend, Luca Dean. So, Luca Dean played left back against Man United. But before that, when James Rodriguez was out with injury or whatever, he was playing further up the pitch in almost that left midfield position, and he was on set pieces like corners, free kicks, etc. And yes, you might think, oh, James Rodriguez scored last game, so he's going to be back at left back. But reports say that Carlo Ancelotti said that his fitness is a doubt, so he might not feature very much, which means Luca Dean might be deployed further up the pitch. And at 6.1 million and owned by 7% of the game, it could be a good option for your team. Well, we've got to squeeze a Fulham option in there, and I think he is a very good player, Lookman. He's not afraid to take on the player in front of him. He's dribbling, he's direct with his play, and whenever Fulham seem to score, he's mostly involved with play. And I think he's pretty much guaranteed to start every week, as he's pretty much their most important attacker. And at £5 million with and only owned by 1.2%, yes, Everton, Burnley aren't easy fixtures for Fulham, but whenever Fulham score, not all the time, it seems to be either created or scored by him, so it could be a good option for your team. So that's the end of the video there, and see, there's a whole week to the next set of fixtures, so we've got a little break. I know we like midweek football, but it's just going to be no midweek football this week, and just wait for the weekend. But if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe, and if you've got any comments about questions about what to do, so if you don't know who to captain or who to bring in, just put in the comments below and I'll reply to you. Thanks for watching the video, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.